ChatGPT has recently launched a new feature that looks to be coming right after your Google Shopping traffic. Yep, ChatGPT, the same tool that sparked an AI revolution, now has a shopping feature built right into it. It's been rolling out and your products could already be showing up in there. But if they're not, your competitors could already be stealing your traffic. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what ChatGPT Shopping is, why it's a big deal for e-commerce store owners just like you, and most importantly, I'm going to give you the exact steps you need to follow to get your products featured inside ChatGPT Shopping. Stick around for that step-by-step checklist. It is coming up shortly. But if you're new here, I'm Daryl Mander, founder of Big Flare, an e-commerce Google Ads agency. We manage over $10 million a year in e-commerce ad spend, and we've helped clients generate more than $150 million in revenue through Google Ads. I've been running Google Ads campaigns for e-commerce stores for over a decade now, and I've seen a lot of shifts in where customers come from. And this new ChatGPT Shopping feature could be one of the most important new traffic sources to emerge in years. So what is ChatGPT Shopping? Well, when someone types a shopping-related query into ChatGPT, for example, best yoga mat under $100 or gift ideas for new dads, ChatGPT now shows actual product recommendations. These show up as visual product cards with the product name, price, an image, and sometimes a short summary or user rating. The cards are interactive. Users can click on them to reveal more details like multiple buying options from different retailers, or they can click through to buy directly from the seller's website. The experience is fast, curated, and designed to feel like you're chatting with a knowledgeable friend who's done the research for you. Importantly, none of this is paid advertising. These are organic recommendations. ChatGPT is picking what it thinks are the best options based on product info, reviews, reputation, and how well the product fits the intent of the question that was asked. It's like a personalized version of the Google Shopping experience, but one that pops up right inside ChatGPT as part of your conversation. Now, if you're on Shopify, things get even more interesting. ChatGPT already has an integration with Shopify that allows it to pull product data directly from your Shopify store. That means it doesn't need to crawl your website to understand your product catalog. It can access accurate, structured product info directly from Shopify. This gives Shopify merchants a real advantage. Unlike a traditional web crawl, which can miss or misinterpret product info depending on how your site is built, this integration allows ChatGPT to work directly with clean, structured product data like titles, images, prices, variants, and stock levels. It increases your chances of being included in ChatGPT shopping responses simply because your data is more accessible and reliable. There's also strong evidence that OpenAI and Shopify are working on a feature that would allow users to complete checkout inside ChatGPT itself. This feature has not launched yet, but it's strongly rumored and could be coming soon. When it does roll out, it could enable users to go from asking a question to completing a purchase without ever leaving the chat. That means fewer clicks, less friction, and a smoother path to purchase for the customer, which could seriously boost your conversion rates if your products are included. So if you're running an e-commerce store, why should you care about all this ChatGPT shopping stuff? Well, this is a brand new, high-intent, organic traffic channel. People asking ChatGPT for product recommendations are usually in buying mode. They aren't casual browsers, they're actively asking what to buy, often with a specific budget or need in mind. It's the digital equivalent of walking into a store and asking the shop assistant, hey, what's the best option for me? If your product shows up in that moment, you're meeting the customer right at the point of intent, and it's a golden opportunity. And the best part, this traffic is currently free. If ChatGPT recommends your product, you don't pay for the click. You don't have to win an ad auction. It's all organic. Now, recent data from OpenAI suggests that ChatGPT now handles around 1 billion searches per week. That's an enormous volume of users actively asking for help, recommendations, and potentially product suggestions. There's a lot of potential buyers you could be getting your products in front of if you're positioned to show up in those answers. It's early days right now. There's little competition, no bidding, and no pay-to-play system yet. But could that change? Possibly. There's ongoing speculation in the industry about whether large language models like ChatGPT will eventually adopt an ad-funded business model. But right now, there's no strong evidence to suggest that that's definitely happening. It's something to keep an eye out on, though. For now, it remains free and an organic opportunity. So if you're already running Google Shopping ads, great. This isn't a replacement, it's an addition. And not just to grow your traffic, but also to protect it. Some portion of ChatGPT's 1 billion weekly searches are almost certainly pulling users away from Google. People who might once have searched for products on Google Shopping are now asking ChatGPT instead in some cases. And that means this isn't just a growth play, it's a defensive one. You want to make sure your products show up in both places so you're not losing sales to competitors who got there first. Now here's something really important. ChatGPT is not using your Google Shopping feed. It's not pulling from a merchant center. It's getting its information in one of two ways. First, it could be crawling your publicly available website content using OpenAI's web crawler. That means the content that you have on your product pages, like your titles, your descriptions, your reviews, even the surrounding context on your website, is what ChatGPT is reading and using to evaluate your products. It's not pulling structured data from the feed that you created, possibly for Google Shopping. It's literally just reading your site the way a human might, but it's doing this at scale. Now, secondly, if you are on Shopify, as mentioned, it can be pulling structured data directly from your store via the Shopify integration. You don't need to do anything to set this up. This has all been set up in the background. This integration gives ChatGPT access to your product data as it sits in Shopify. So things like your titles, pricing, descriptions, your images, and more. The data is more reliable than what it might extract from just crawling your website, and it makes it easier for your products to be accurately displayed. So this is a major mindset shift for those of us coming from the Google Shopping world. With Google, your Merchant Center feed is your main source of truth. You optimize that feed, and sometimes you even do that more than you might be optimizing your website itself. But with ChatGPT, your website becomes the primary source of truth. Your on-page content, especially your product pages, is now the foundation for discoverability. So if you've invested a lot in feed optimization but neglected your product page content, ChatGPT won't see any of that feed work you did. You could be invisible in this new channel. That's why your product page content needs to be sharp, detailed, and well structured. And this brings up a really important shift that I see happening here. In Google Shopping, the product description field isn't that important. It's there, but Google mostly focuses on your titles and images when deciding what keywords to show your products for. But ChatGPT is different. ChatGPT is trying to deeply understand your product using your on-site information so that it can match it to a customer in the middle of a conversation. And for that, it's reading the entire product page and all your website content. So if your product descriptions are vague or minimal, you probably won't get recommended as much. But if your product description clearly explains what the product is, who it's for, how it's used, what problem it solves, and why it's better than the alternatives, you're giving the AI the raw material it needs to recommend you more often. So here's a few quick tips for your on-site product descriptions. Use natural language. Imagine you're trying to be a helpful salesperson who's helping a customer understand and decide on your product. Cover use cases and customer pain points. When you truly understand what pain points your customers have around your products, you turn into a copywriting powerhouse. Include feature lists, sure, but also explain benefits. Feature lists are all well and good, and it's what a lot of businesses kind of default to, but you need to translate this into the benefits your customers actually experience when using your product. Add answers to common questions right in the description. Understand the most common questions your customers ask and make sure those questions are answered right in your product description. And with all these tips, remember that you're not just writing for humans anymore, you're writing for humans and the AI that's helping those humans to shop. Alright, so let's get practical. These are the key things you want to do if you want to get your products to start showing up more in ChatGPT Shopping. Step 1, make sure your website is crawlable. ChatGPT needs to be able to read your site. That means you need to check your robots.txt file, and this is the file that tells bots what they're allowed to crawl on your website. What you don't want to see in that file is something like this. That would block all bots from crawling your entire site. Instead, what you do want is something like this. This explicitly allows OpenAI's bot to crawl your site, or at the very least, make sure you're not blocking it anywhere else in the file. The bot's name is OAI-search bot. So do a quick check for that and make sure you're not accidentally shutting it out. Step 2, optimize your product pages. Use clear product titles with relevant keywords and avoid vague or clever phrasing. Clarity really wins here. Write helpful, natural-sounding descriptions. Don't just list specs, explain what the product is, who it's for, how it's used, and why it's worth buying. Having an FAQ section either as part of the description or in its own dedicated section can really help you teach the AI why your product is great. And don't forget your images. Use clean, high-quality shots that show the product clearly. Lifestyle photos and multiple angles help here too. The better your page content, the more likely ChatGPT will understand and recommend your product. Step 3, add trust signals. Show off your product reviews and ratings clearly on your product pages, and make sure they're marked up properly with structured data if possible, so they're easier for crawlers to understand. And go beyond just on-site reviews. Try to get your brand and products mentioned on third-party blogs, review sites, or relevant forums. Anywhere reputable that ChatGPT might crawl and consider as a trustworthy external source helps to establish your credibility. Think of it like digital word of mouth. Being mentioned on high-quality third-party sources like industry publications, respected blogs and publishers, trusted influencers in your niche, or even social media can help boost your brand's credibility in the eyes of the AI. The more signals that ChatGPT can pick up that say this is a real, trustworthy, high-quality product, the more likely you are to get surfaced in a shopping recommendation. Step 4, make sure your structured data markup is in place. Structured data, also known as schema markup, helps ChatGPT and other AI systems better understand what's going on your product pages. This includes details like product name, price, reviews, availability, and more. Now, if you're on a modern Shopify theme, you're probably in good shape here. Most recent themes come with built-in structured data for products, but it's still worth checking. If you've customized your theme or are using third-party apps, your markup might be incomplete or missing. There are tools like Google's Rich Results Test or schema.org validators that can help you check what's currently being output. And if you need to add or improve it, there are Shopify apps like JSON-LD for SEO that can handle this without needing to touch the code. Having accurate, complete structured data not only helps your Google SEO, it also increases your odds of showing up in ChatGPT's product recommendations, since the AI will have a clearer picture of your product. Step 5, register your interest with OpenAI. They've got a page over at this link up here where you can sign up to stay informed about future product data submission options. There's a copy of that link in the description below this video too. So right now, direct product feed submissions aren't open to the public, but OpenAI has said that they will be. And this link is where you can register to be first in the know when that becomes available. So if you want early access or want to be notified the moment it opens up, that link's the place to go. So those are the 5 major things you need to do right now. Do these 5 things and you're giving yourself the best shot at getting visibility in ChatGPT Shopping while it's still early. And actually, come to think of it, there is a 6th thing you need to do, which is to hit like and then subscribe on this video. When important ChatGPT Shopping updates do come out, like product feed submissions and pay-per-click options, I will be covering it on my channel. So do hit the subscribe and the bell notification buttons below to make sure you don't miss out. So how can you check what traffic, if any, ChatGPT is already sending to you? Right now, there's no dashboard or ad manager for ChatGPT Shopping, but you can still track referrals, and it's actually pretty easy. ChatGPT adds a UTM parameter to the links it shares. UTM_source equals ChatGPT. Here's how to see that data in Google Analytics. Open up Google Analytics and go to your GA4 property. In the left-hand menu, click on Reports, then Acquisition, then Traffic Acquisition. Change your segmentation so that you can see sessions by source and medium. Scroll down or alternatively do a search for ChatGPT. You should now be able to see detailed metrics like sessions, bounce rate, conversion rate, and any e-commerce revenue coming from ChatGPT. This will help you understand how much traffic ChatGPT is already sending your way and how well that traffic is performing once it lands on your site. I do know some people in the industry that have been seeing traffic as high as 15% coming in from ChatGPT, But to be fair, they are outliers, but definitely do check what proportion of traffic is currently being driven by ChatGPT for you. And if it's super low or non-existent, then follow the steps I outlined earlier in this video to try and boost your visibility. ChatGPT Shopping is still early, but it's very real and it's growing fast. If you've already done the work to optimize your Google Shopping feed, that's great, but now you need to make sure your actual website content is just as strong, because that's what ChatGPT actually sees, and that's what it's using to decide whether or not to recommend your product. So take advantage now before this gets crowded, do the work, get in early, and enjoy the wave of new organic traffic while it lasts. ChatGPT Shopping is just one of the many AI-focused updates affecting e-commerce advertisers this year. Check out this video up here if you want to see the other 5 biggest AI updates to Google Ads this year, and my personal takeaways on what's going to affect e-commerce advertisers the most. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.